Well everybody, Sonic X Shadow Generations is actually real, and if you ask me, it looks pretty good. But I and a lot of people have already noticed a slight issue with the game. Well, a few slight issues actually, and honestly, some of them are actually pretty bad. Before we get into it though, I just want to say I am not trying to bitch about this game for no reason. These issues just kind of range from, is this game even worth buying, to Sega is screwing over the entire Sonic community. So let's just get into it, shall we? First up, I have a simple question. Is this game even a remaster? The base generations in this remaster looks the exact same as the original game, and I noticed this almost immediately. Wait, this looks the exact same, guys. Guys, this looks the same. This looks the same. This looks the exact same. So yeah, this game doesn't look any different from the base generations, which is odd because this is supposed to be a next-gen remaster of the game. Some people are saying that they're happy with them just porting the game without doing anything to it, mainly due to how Colors Ultimate turned out, but when you take that out of the equation and realize that Sonic Team themselves are handling this remaster, then it just looks kind of lazy. I'm not saying that Generations looks bad or anything, but this does not look like a PS5 game. You know what's funny though? The new Shadow expansion looks fucking amazing. Pretty lighting, cool effects, jaw-dropping environments, Shadow's detailed fur. This actually looks like a PS5 game, which is very weird when you realize that these two games are part of the same package. Half of this so-called remaster is just a direct port, while the other half is a brand new experience. This feels like they wanted to make a Shadow game, but they didn't have the time, so they just threw in Generations as a bonus. Because yeah, the new Shadow campaign literally has nothing to do with the OG Generations. They probably wanted to make this Shadow game, and some Sega executive realized, oh hey, whoa, wait a minute, do you guys understand that we haven't ported motherfucking Sonic Generations yet? And everybody at the table clapped. So yeah, this isn't a Sonic Generations remaster, but more of a Shadow the Hedgehog spin-off with Sonic Generations thrown on top of it. But why didn't they upgrade Generations visuals? It probably has something to do with the game engines or something, I don't know, but it's just going to be extremely jarring playing a PS5 game that's supposed to be a DLC expansion of a PS3 game, if you get what I'm saying. Some have also pointed out that the Shadow DLC is probably going to have completely different gameplay from the original Generations as well. Since this new expansion is in the Hedgehog engine 2 instead of the OG Hedgehog engine that Generations was made in, then the gameplay is probably going to feel different, which really sucks. Many people have already pointed out that from the trailer and screenshots we have, this looks like Shadow from Forces, gameplay-wise. He has some cool new abilities, but the physics, from the looks of things, is more in line with Forces rather than Generations, you know, the game that it's bundled with. Shadow's model is also seemingly ripped from Forces as well, which just adds to the whole problem as two different Shadow models are going to be used in the same game. As for the level design, I'm not really worried about it. Many people have already been saying that it looks like Forces level design, and I guess it does, but we haven't seen enough to make a conclusion on if the level design is good or not. Hey, I already see an alternate path though, so that's a pretty good sign. Personally, I think it's just going to be weird having these two drastically different games being marketed as one of the same. I don't really mind if Shadow has Forces gameplay, but it's going to be weird knowing that an older game in the same bundle has better controls and physics. But who knows, this is all speculation and Shadow could play exactly like Sonic does. We have no idea yet. Alright, finally, here's the big one, mods. Sonic Generations has a massive PC modding community, and it's been that way ever since the game launched on PC. Hundreds, if not thousands of mods have been made for this game. But what if I told you that Sega releasing Sonic X Shadow Generations would cause all of that to be thrown away? Yeah, that sounds pretty bad, right? Let me explain. Basically, the original Sonic Generations is probably going to get delisted on Steam when the new version comes out. I say this because when Sonic Origins dropped, they straight up delisted all of the standalone classic games from Steam, including the official Sonic CD Taxman port. Now, from Sega's perspective, this makes perfect sense. Why would you want people buying the old version of a game when a newer, more expensive version exists? They would just be losing money by doing that. The problem with this is that those hundreds of mods will no longer be able to be used due to the fact that no one will be able to buy the game anymore. Now, of course, if you bought the game, you can still play it, and of course, you can still play the mods, but new people who want to play mods will not be able to play them on the new version of the game. Maybe. It is entirely possible that the remaster will still have mod support with the previous version, and it's also possible that Sega will keep the old version up on Steam as well, but both of those things are very unlikely. It really sucks because the modding scene is part of the reason why this game still remains relevant to this day. Hell, I discovered Generations through Kobanermani456's Mod Mondays. Mods are a huge part of this game and its community. It would be terrible if all of that was thrown away just because of a 2 to 3 hour expansion being added. So if you ever wanted to play Generations with mods, now is the time to do so. Go ahead and buy the game on Steam before it gets delisted by Sega. I don't blame Sega for doing this, and who knows, maybe they're not going to do it, but it would just be the logical thing to do if they wanted to actually sell this remaster. But yeah guys, that's going to end this video. Let me know what you all think about Sonic X Shadow Generations in the comments down below. But thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.